Right, so this is a feedback show.
Feedback. Missed last Saturday, we missed yesterday. But we're here, we're still around.
Yeah.
Not too many people in here.
Title.
Yeah. We got, well, do you want to talk about later or not?
Yeah. Go over all of that stuff. Presentation, website.
That website is
7.
quite a thing.
Video, music. Tell me what you love, seeing as it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, tell me what you love special. Yeah, he seems like a cool guy. Haven't ever talked to him. But some good quality music. You got a shout out from him?
Yeah, more comments on it than feedback show. There you go. Right. There we go. Let's see it. Back on this. So we're on Landing Potatoes. Yeah, that good enough screen for you, or should we go in the off in text?
What
We don't want to be doing it in the landing, do we?
Yeah, probably not.
Right, so what do you want to start off with?
Let's see. I have to be careful what I talk about. It seems like I trigger some people. But yeah. What do we have going on here? You got the thing coming up later today. You're gonna talk to Rob, but I don't know. That's really not gonna be like a live stream or anything like that. But yeah, did you want to go into the website and look at some of those things you've been posting in there, or maybe review the 7?
Yeah, what do you want to do? Do you want us to do it on the screen? If I go on the screen, let's see.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Let me.
I know you were talking about doing a video to Simon and Dan. There was someone else you were talking about.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to do that one. The program went funny in the to start that Simon Dan one, but that's a triangle one, and I don't know, but I mean, a triangle's a little bit too advanced if you can't understand a straight line. Surely you have to start with straight lines and angles. I mean, the two most basic concepts are them two right lines. You've got to have that sorted first. And a fundamental understanding of what the horizontal and the vertical are. I mean, it's not much point doing triangles.
Yeah, I think even that Jesse can understand what a triangle is. Just, 3 coplanar points, right?
Yeah, put it in the chat there. Look at that, coplanars. That means they're all on the same plane. And, I mean, surveyors and all of that just have just one, don't they? Just one reference frame, right? So if I share my screen,
looks like a lot of people showed up over on YouTube.
On yours?
Yeah. Are you live too?
Jolly good, yeah.
That's cool. I didn't scare everyone off.
I can't watch the YouTube, but maybe I'll check.
Allie B is here. Wide Awake. Nice. John Lloyd. Blake Zero. Nemo. Cool.
Okay, are you on that?
Oh, yeah, hang on. Sorry, I was looking around. Cool, yeah. Yeah, you got quite a lot of action on
Yeah,
that.
loads of stuff. I mean, it goes all the way back. I mean, anybody who wants to know what we're all about, it's all about the practical use of it's all explained, all down to the models that Kozlowski's failure, even the old test, simple. There's plenty of ways been wrote down how to establish whatever, but we've been dealing with just recently, and I'm going to be going over. I've got a bit of a presentation to go over.
Yeah.
But I see that doesn't even fit on my page. It does on the.
Why?
Yeah, I'll have to check that.
Hang on, you can click full screen. No, still not on there.
No, it's not, is it? Yeah, I'll fix it later. Cognitive dissonance. So the first thing you need to understand with this test is what cognitive dissonance is. Now, link here takes you to the Encyclopedia Britannica. Cognitive dissonance is a mental conflict that occurs when beliefs or assumptions are contradicted by new information. The unease or tension that the conflict arouses in people is relieved by one of several defense maneuvers. They reject, they explain away, or they avoid the new information. Persuade themselves that no conflict really exists, or reconcile the differences, or resort to any other defensive means of preserving stability in order to or order in their conceptions of the world and themselves. It's just having it was developed in the 1950s. Probably concept was developed probably because people had been started to be lied to, right? And people are realizing that there's something going wrong, right? There's something wrong.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that actually before we went live. I was thinking about how it is with the globe model. You know, these people, they'll believe anything about the globe model. They'll believe any NASA press release, and they'll never question it. But if you say that level is horizontal, they automatically reject it. It's
strange, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's the first off, right? Is you have to be aware that this state of mental conflict that occurs when your beliefs or assumptions are contradicted by new information. There are a few different reactions that occur. I mean, several defensive maneuvers. So they feel like they're attacked by this information that contradicts something. But I mean, it's there, and there's a contradiction, so they feel attacked.
They personally feel attacked.
Yeah. By you telling them the information. I mean, and when these people chase you and ask you questions and you tell them answers that they don't want to hear, they feel attacked again. So they ask you a question, you answer them, they feel attacked.
Yeah, when it says defensive means right there, it's a defense mechanism that they have.
They reject. Nah. No, it isn't. Or they explain away. Well, that's easy. You just it's easy. It happens on both models.
Gravity. Yeah.
Or they avoid the new information, which is, I'm not listening. Didn't hear that. What was that? Or they persuade themselves that no conflict really exists. Well, both of them models, they're the same thing.
Yeah, flat is level and level is curved. No big deal.
Yeah. Up, a drop, like a constant drop or a hump. Right, well, the same thing. Yeah, it's no problem with that at all. or they resort to any other defensive means of preserving stability, right? Or reconcile the differences. But I mean,
nah, I've never seen that.
I don't know why that one's in there. It must have been.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier. It's like, yeah, that's a good point. Oh, you're saying we're not on a globe, and why is that? Oh, because level is horizontal. Yeah, I'll think about that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. What's that you say? You've got proof?
Oh, really? Geometric proof?
Yeah, let me see it.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look. That'll be really interesting, right? So that's what the cognitive dissonance is. It's a mental anguish, but I mean, it's not a mental anguish that somebody answering should have to deal with. I mean, this is what happens to people, as you'll see what happens within this test. So again, another warning: cognitive dissonance is right. State of discomfort felt when two or more modes of thought contradict each other. And we go through straight line. That's not even fitting. Straight line is.
It looked all right a minute ago, but then as we scroll down, I don't know.
Yeah. Right, and I couldn't think of any other way to put this straight lines, right? Because it's explaining what a straight line is, undefinable, because it is. I don't know. It's just an element. So.
It has no curve, yeah.
Did I have to put that in without curvature? Right, I managed to add that in. So this is me as much as I can add as many things. A right line is that which lies evenly between its six extreme points, Euclid. That is without curvature in any direction, being the shortest path between those 2 points, never deviating from that path.
Yeah, that's very good. Very comprehensive.
I think I've got everything covered there. And then added the fact that it's not a concept, but a fact of reality, and basic logic is formed upon these facts. The geometry is logic, just put into line and form. So.
Yeah, I don't know if any people are real familiar with the right line, but a straight line has no curve. A right line has no curve. A straight line is a right line. It's something that I found in the in Newton's verbiage on a NASA website talking about a right line.
That's I need to find that to put that in here. Straight explained. I'll click that. Boom. Takes you to a different. See, look at that.
It's the frame structure of the website, I guess.
Yeah, maybe my thing. Can I change the zoom?
Yeah, keep going a little bit more. I think you're pretty good right there.
Right, this writing is dead small now, though.
Oh God, that's done.
Look at that.
Yeah. What is that over there on the right of that? The expanding thing on the right?
Straight.
To the right of that zoom?
There you go. That's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's good. Right. Straight line. Ask yourself. That returns back to the other one. I'm getting quite good at doing this website.
Yeah, it's great.
So yeah, this is like it goes into a straight line now, right? If there's anything more intrinsic, I mean, this is just for people to go through on their own, right? I'm trying to explain what straight is as much as I can. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I found a dictionary earlier online. It was like from 1832.
No,
I don't know if you saw that.
No word of gravity. And perpendicular and flat means right angles, and flat means horizontal plane. I think. So that's where I need to put your the right bit down here. So we've got bits of logic and stuff explaining how straight lines and all the definitions.
Let's see how lucky I could be real quick. Type in 4 words on Google. Excuse me, right line, Newton, NASA. No.
It's been taken out. They've got to it already.
No, I think I did. It was the laws of motion I was looking at. That's how I came by it.
I think I probably saved it, but I can't remember where I've saved it. Oh, he's mine.
Wait, you remember the first law of motion? Constant velocity requires a straight line. And that's where I found the right line. Yep, not that. Alright, yeah, sorry. Constant velocity.
It's even smaller.
Yeah, they may have changed it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, so that's what we're on. I'm going to be doing a presentation or building a presentation on these 7 points. I'll be giving it. It's an interactive presentation, so if you want to come and experience it, then you're best off being here for it.
And that'll be at about what, 2 p.m. About 2 hours away.
About 2 and a bit hours, yeah.
And
that's particularly for Rob, but I'm going to try and go all the way through all of these. What are 7 points at the minute? There'll probably be some more added. That looks better now. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, it's funny how it kind of switches back and forth.
Yeah. So this will be as fully as I can do it, all the way back to first principles, breaking everything down to the fundamental baseline of a straight line, starting at a straight line, and building up from there to hopefully give a proof in reality that level is horizontal. And once we've done that, then we can understand how we can use that to learn more about stuff. So this is, I don't know, call it our cognitive dissonance check. Just to check. I mean, I don't know whether the good or the bad thing about it is that this isn't for everyone. You know,
No.
This is you may not understand it first time, and you may not get it. You may never understand it. That's all right, but this goes right back to how the real basics. So, if there's any problems with it, I'm sure we can explain and hopefully explain. I mean, everybody already knows this. It's like relearning. When you learn basic logic like this, you already knew it in the first place.
Right.
So you just
so many parallels I could draw.
Yeah.
With that, but I can't. Oh, yeah.
It is almost though as though you've you have learned it, but you've forgotten it. Like there's all sorts of other things have happened that have stopped the knowledge of it when you hear things like that's so basic logic like this. Once you start formulating it again, it is like learning it again.
Yeah, it's funny. Like you learn all that basic stuff, and then later on they go, "Oh, well, let me teach you something that contradicts what you learned before," and you're like, "Hey, that's weird." Well, this isn't elementary school anymore, okay? Yeah, let's expand our minds. Let's imagine something different.
Yeah.
I think it just happens like that.
You got to grow up from that old thinking and the old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. My OBS isn't playing fair.
Yeah, I mean, like, if anyone can see the implications of the right line, with the right angle and the right triangle, it kind of helps you sort things out. Just knowing that.
Yeah, it is pretty simple that these two straight lines or right lines in particular, because they have a very familiar relationship, a right line.
Mm-hmm.
I think always like perpendicular, right, as well, because perpendicular or a perpendicle, that's my favourite word at the minute. That perpendicle is a plumb bob. Anything hanging from a string down by a straight line.
Have you ever seen the old levels? That they look like they have a perpendicle in them. Ooh. I should have found that before we came on, but I was trying to find an old one. It's hard to find old stuff.
But that would make the perpendicles or perpendiculars. One has to be vertical and the other one has to be horizontal.
Mm-hmm.
Like just being at right angles to each other wouldn't suffice back in the olden days.
Yeah, there it is. It's like a square. Ancient Egyptian level. Hang on, I'll try to get it here. Sorry, keep going. I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. I was going back to have a look at it.
That's a horrible quality photograph there, but it's really awesome. Hang on. See, we got hieroglyphics on it. Where can I put that? Offing text.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's an odd one, but they use the vertical to establish the horizontal, even though water, of course, can establish a horizontal. Using this ancient tool, they use that perpendicle. There's a lot of different variations of that too.
There you go. Yeah.
It worked as a level and a square. And a plumb bob. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it'd make the I've got to get better on these screens with me.
Oh, that's badass right there. There's a 3D model of one. I'll put it in the YouTube chat too. It's in the offing text as well. Really cool. You can look at that 3D model from any direction.
Oh, I have done a bit of parallel line logic on there. I must. I forget all sorts of stuff, so there's loads more on that site.
I like that right there where you're at. Logos. We tried to get through that one day.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to. I want to. This is the part that I like the most, actually. The logos, the logic, and then trying to put the basic. How to trigger a delusionalist. I can't even remember half of this. Tell them a basic fact that conflicts with their narrative. It exposes them to their cognitive dissonance. The statement straight lines which are parallel to the same straight line are parallel to each other is a theorem within proposition 30 of the elements. So for me, formulating a symbol letter, it's an ideal t-shirt from DP. Yeah, I must have wrote it out when we was getting me t-shirt. So it's there. I mean, it's been wrote down for quite a bit. See if you see if you can
I remember a couple of Saturdays ago you were reading some stuff from the website. It was just amazing. You spent a lot of time in this repository.
Well, I don't know. I might do. I keep forgetting about it though, so you know. It's coming together quite nicely though. I mean, I'm liking it. The idea of having all of the information wrote down when people keep asking for, have you got any evidence of that? Well, yeah, now I have. It's all wrote down.
Yeah, citation, please. On the level.live.
Yeah. But, I mean, it won't really mean anything, I don't think, until you've been through it. It's one of those strange things. I mean, I don't know. And maybe it's just because I've been talking to, we've been around the people that we've been talking to for so long. People at Gem Pandas and, people like Rumpus.
Yeah, people who don't want to learn.
Well, they don't seem to have the ability to teach, which is because most people I find that come round these sort of areas and these places, they come with a question. They've got some sort of something they want sorted in their heads, and then to come and ask. If you end up asking anyone over at Gem Panda's server, or what sort of answers do you end up getting?
Just insults, really.
See, I can't really ever remember seeing an answer to any question.
Well, there's a couple answers that you can get. You can get gravity, or you can get photographs of Earth from space. That usually those two answers are pretty much all they really need. That's pretty much all they have. I wouldn't really call those answers though. They're just, beliefs. Oh, Square universe. That's funny.
Yeah. I think hopefully what this sort of does is it'll help people understand that geometry isn't something that's within maths. Geometry is a logical extension of reality with line and circle, or I don't know, line and arc. What's it? I don't know what.
It's always a line. You have to have the straight line radius to form a circle.
Geometry, straight lines and arcs, and there's a lot of people say it's only in 2 dimensions. Well, you could say that, but the 2-dimensional triangles work on all 3 axes, right? You can have a triangle up right in front of you. You can have it along the other axis in front of you upright, or you could lay it down on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could build a 3-dimensional triangular structure in the desert if you wanted to.
Yeah. You could build a perpendicular wherever you wanted to.
Yeah,
All you've got to have is the relationship of the two right lines,
that's right.
and you can build any shape from that because they're your axis of X, Y, Z. It's reality, and the geometry is just an extension of reality to how you map out reality. I mean, I don't want to be taking anybody's imaginary model away from them, but
Mm-hmm.
they
They can keep it,
yeah,
like a toy, like a childhood toy. They just still have it on a shelf somewhere.
yeah, but it'll keep it in your mind, right? I mean, they can still imagine like they do at the minute. They imagine a model and deal with a straight, right understanding of reality. They can look at things and go, well, it looks like it. It's like something a bit funny's going off in the distance over there. Can it?
Nah. Just look at it from the side. You won't see the curvature.
Yeah, well, that's the way you are looking at it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it looks a bit funny in the distance. But, I mean, if you can imagine you were looking along it, if you could turn it, then it'd probably end up curving. But, I mean, since you can't do that, you can't prove it. And so, yeah. Yeah, there's some interesting conversations to be had, especially with these 7 basic facts.
Yeah, Nathan was asking me the other day. He said, so the horizon is physical again? And I was like, I'm not sure what he was referring to, but the observed plane of the horizon, of course, is horizontal, optically. Yeah. And as you turn around, it's always a straight line. It's not a donagon around you. Is that physical? Is that optical? I don't know. Is it the observed geometric horizon is a straight line? Unless you have a terrestrial horizon and you're looking at a bunch of buildings or mountains or whatever. But yeah.
Right, back onto the Discord screen now. Finished with the website. We'll push that a bit more sooner or when I've been through this presentation. Be a bit more happy with it once I've worked through it as a presentation. Hopefully set it up.
Yeah, the 7 facts are amazing. We went through it with Gently, and it was like pulling teeth, and he got really upset and said he'd never come back. And then we went through it with 50, an unknown, pretty much. But 50, he couldn't even get through the first one. He couldn't define a straight line in like 2.5 hours. Something unusual about that. I think out in the real world, people would be like, man, what's going on?
Yeah, when adults can't actually define a straight line or give you an understanding of a straight line.
Nah, it's crazy. Absolutely. Where'd everybody go? There were some people around, but
yeah.
Spot On came over for a minute, and then he bailed. TP was around earlier. But I don't know what it is with geometry, man. It just freaks people out.
Oh, I may as well put that out as well. I put a community post out today.
And then somebody says, "Hey, Earth's flat."
Professor Phil, because he's been coming in, they say harassing people.
That's just Phil.
Yeah, asking people about what shape the Earth is and what happens to rockets when they go up in the air.
Oh, is he watching a movie or something, or sci-fi or something?
No, he likes to pretend he zooms satellites up into space, doesn't he? So he likes, in his spare time from doing that, obviously, he likes to come to servers where people say that it's obviously and observably, provably not flat, to ask people why they think it's flat.
Yeah.
So I've offered Phil a chance to go proof for proof, since he says that he's got all of the proofs and everything, that he could quite easily proof for proof, Phil, on what the shape of things. Doesn't matter anything. We'll just go proof for proof on. Well, he can bring his science that proves everything, and I will bring first principles and build everything from the ground up to explain things. Anything as well, like anything to do with reality, not fantasies, things that you think happen up in places that are, yeah. So I put that out today on the YouTubes, an offer for Phil to just come over here or even Modern Day Debates, or anybody that wants to stand in for Phil. Anyone wants to defend Phil and his right to be able to just say whatever he wants.
Oh, look, Jim Panda showed up.
Oh, hey, Jem. He's like triangles.
Yeah.
Maybe Jem wants to come and help us with triangles.
Yeah, he says, okay, let's debate. When would you like to do it? I'm not sure if he's talking to Plague or us or you. I don't know. Jim, you can come in here and talk if you want.
Yeah. We do the triangle thing. I like that. Or we can walk Jem through the A7. That'd be nice. Perhaps he wants to come and see the proof. Perhaps Autisimo's actually told Jem about the proof that level is horizontal, and Jem wants to come and see it for himself. Maybe he wants to come and work through the 7 first, just to make sure that he's right on it.
Jem says, not until we have addressed our mental health issues.
Oh, wow. Has he got some mental health issues?
Maybe he's saying the issues.
Sorry, Jem.
The issues that we have with people's mental health. I don't know. It's
the
okay.
Issues we have with people's mental health.
Oh, just cognitive dissonance. He's suffering from that.
He has it. Yeah. Well, that's why we put that at the beginning. We don't want to put you through anything that you may find painful. So I mean, it's understandable, Jem. We know. That's why we put the warning at the beginning. If you don't think you're capable of it, then just keep away, because this could be very painful.
Yeah, going through the 7 could be a painful process. You could gently yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've heard some of the reactions from talking to us. The people are laying the nuts on the line. I don't know why they have to do that, but...
is there anybody watching the people trying to get in here? Because I don't really... I don't know if Ali B might have been trying to get in, or if Jim was going to try to get in.
There's nobody in the landing. Nobody's...
Oh, there's somebody. Nope, not bad.
No. Nobody's coming in.
Mm-hmm. They'd be in like the sprouting area, I guess.
Yeah, I've got landing potatoes. Yeah, but anybody's willing to come in. I mean, like I say, I'm going through it at 7 o'clock with Rob Keane. He'll be over here.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody's willing to come over here. We're not going to be live streaming it, but
Yeah, look at Jim. He says, yes, you have
practice.
become obsessed with geometry and you are incapable of talking about anything else. This has to be an illness, and this is just the start of it.
Oh, Jem, what else would Jem want to talk about?
Photographs from space.
Oh, yeah, nice. Jem, anything else? Something to do with space, lights in the sky. No? Let's talk about triangles, Jem. Let's talk about your triangles that have more than 180 degrees. Every time people measure them, every time. In multiple countries, in multiple places, by multiple people with multiple ethnicities and multiple backgrounds. They all, you said, Jem, all measure triangles with more than 180 degrees.
Mm-hmm. Ali B said he tried to get in, but he couldn't get in. I'm not sure what's going on.
There's nobody dropping in the I'm in there in the landing potatoes.
I posted a link. I thought it was good.
Stacey came in the other day. So yeah, I don't know whether you can have another account to try and get in.
I don't know.
Jem, try and pop in, Jem. See whether you can.
My Cleary Discord is wide open. Anybody can come straight in there.
Yeah, if people aren't able to get in here, we can move to somewhere else. I mean.
Oh, Ali B, just come in to click the link I sent. Once you come in, we'll see you, and we gotta bring you in. I don't know. If we were on my Discord, you guys could come just straight in. Anybody could come straight in, and that's usually what happens. You never know.
Has Jem seen his starring role in the...
Oh, yeah, you want to play that? I could play that.
Yeah, you can put it on, can't you? Yeah.
I could,
Or do you want me to get it on?
You could do it.
Potato. There you go. New user. I don't know. Lobby enrolled. Go on. You've accepted the rules, whoever that is. I'm a potato.
Brian Evans says, I am in here.
Is he?
But where is that? Landing?
Let me check. He's got rules accepted. And I'm going to give him lobby enrolled. I haven't got a clue what all of these things are.
Yeah, I just don't know how.
I don't know how DP set this place up.
Mm-hmm.
Can you get...
Let's just go over to my server. You want to?
Let's just check whether they can see the voice. Oh, can you... Can he? So I'm not taking the piss there, Ali. Sorry. I've also had a message on Twitter today that McToon said that there will never be a proof that level is horizontal. Do you want me to put it in the...
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Pretty confident, right? For
Yeah, he's got a deep belief in the model.
There you go. There will never be proof that level is horizontal, so I know I will never see it. That's sort of him sort of admitting that he's not... He's one of those ones that's just going to ignore the evidence. Pretend he's never seen it.
Yeah, there will never be proof that level is horizontal, so I know I will never see it.
Yeah, Bry. See it work then, Bry. Yeah, that's good. This isn't your first time over here, though, is it?
Thought he'd been over here before.
No opening it.
Yeah. So, yes. Presentation. Logic. Is Jem still here? Because it's not just about geometry, Jem. It's way more than that. Yeah.
Let's see. He's talking to Plague.
Is he after debating Plague, or was he after...
Yeah, Plague may have said something to him, and he said, "Come debate me," or whatever.
Oh, that'd be
But
good.
he didn't want to come in, I guess, and talk about geometry. Probably would say, "It's so boring."
Yeah, it would be, because he said something is impossible. Jem has said something that is impossible is done daily by everybody else that does it, ever. Now, I don't know who's told him that, but that person that's told him that, he must have trusted.
Yeah.
Or he just sort of going along with the narrative that Jem wanted. So Jem just believed it. And then Jem ends up repeating this absolutely ridiculous, impossible shit. I'm not surprised he doesn't want to talk about it. He'd look like a dickhead. Can't have that.
Yeah, it's thousands of people for hundreds of years have used horizontal measuring instruments to measure elevation changes.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Whenever they measure triangles, every one of them get more than 180 degrees. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I got quoted picture the other day as well of the triangle. They brought it out again. Have you seen the fancy triangle that they keep floating out? Like, I had this one again. I drew the face on it.
Yeah, I found this.
57.
Hang on, I'll be right
61,
there.
65. Make 183. It's like when you actually measure them. This one down here at the bottom is another 63 degrees. This 65 should be 62, I think.
Hang on. Oh yeah.
So mic check.
Yeah.
Hey, Ali, what's up?
All right, how you doing? I'll mute now.
All right. Yeah, one of those angles has got 3 angles more added onto it. So they're just really bad at maths.
No, that's what all you got to do is just get a red marker out and just start writing down numbers, right?
Yeah, you just get a triangle and don't bother measuring the angles. Just write something. Write some numbers and go, look, hey, more than 180. Therefore, it's a sphere, obviously. That's the way Jem works. Must be. And somebody's told them that they can do that. I mean, I don't know who. It'd be nice to know.
I would like to know. I would like to know, guys, what school they went to that actually said that a straight line was curved. That's what I'd be more interested. If I was their parents, I'd be asking for their money back. or at least suing the school, because these people are crazy for even thinking, you know, there's not in parallel lines as well. All this stuff we got taught at school, you know what I mean? It's like a fact, and now it's crazy. To me, it's amazing, man. It's amazing that they just do this.
I think ever since Ruhif said definitions are meaningless, right? Well, that means that the definitions of anything that we took for granted, like let's say the definition of parallel lines means that they don't ever touch, right? They stay at the same distance apart always. Well, since definitions have no meaning, then yeah, that's not what that means. The fact that it breaks fundamental basic laws and everything, then hey, who cares? Definitions are meaningless. We can just make new ones up.
He's just an idiot. He just trolls. He's just what do you call it? A contrarian. Do you know what I think? I seriously believe that he's just in there for a bit of fun. If you listen to him interacting, he'll deny absolutely everything.
Yeah, he's just having fun, trolling.
Yeah. And that's what I object to, because it's quite a serious subject that we've been lied to about, and we've got people. We should be angry for the fact that we got educated totally wrong. According to them, got told lies, loads of lies about whatever vacuums and stuff like that. We just got a basic understanding, which is not even based on reality.
I'm not so sure about you being taught it, right? I don't think you ever get taught anything like that at school.
I got taught about parallel lines and and in science. Oh, right enough. We never got taught about. You're right there about gas pressure, and certainly not what you brought to light about the logic of geometry, the logic in Euclidean geometry. I never got taught that. I can assure you.
Yeah.
You know, the actual describing the logic. You know why it is, and you know this is it. There's no like argument, and these people have found arguments, stupid and inane arguments against something that's basically set in stone. Well, it's set in stone as much as man could set something in stone, you know. And they just changed it. Totally went 180 on it. You know?
Yeah, they just... I mean, if a definition is set as something, it's defined as being something, then to define that thing as not being that and the opposite of what it is defined as is not a valid redefinition of a word, right? Just because it doesn't happen to fit your narrative, then for you to just say no, not that, I will change the definition of that, is ridiculous. But they do it all the time. I mean, they've been doing it for 5 years. Or over.
I mean, yeah, I know. Yeah. But not just in flat earth, like all over. I mean, most of these guys here, like that hang out in Gem Pandas, they used to, you know, they're like old timers, man. They've been around for like 10, 15 years debating atheism. As I say, all these people like that Quartus, what's her name?
Oh, yeah. You're right.
All these people, they've been doing that, and then they stumbled across this. So they're all old hats. So to even like expect to get any truth, the only way, I like the way you interact with them, Bev, because they end up having to say the most stupid things to defend themselves. And it's like it's quote of the minute, every single thing that they say to argue about. You know, that's what I like about it. You've got them to actually say the most stupid things, like en masse. You know, it used to take ages but you could just go to one of your hangouts where about 4 of them turn up, and you've got about 50 gems of.
Yeah, you know, Ali B. One of them told me one time that they used to troll Christians until the flat earthers came along.
Oh, well, there you go. There you are. Yeah. Well, these guys came out of that debate arena, that debunking, and plus the conspiracy. They were into They were after. I mean, they've come from the attacking anti-vaxxers, New World Orders, the Masonic. That's where they've came from. They literally did to these conspiracies or religions or whatever. They're just doing the exact same to the flat Earth. That's why they're so good at it. They're practiced. Well, I don't mean they're good at it. But I mean,
yeah, they're good at it. They're good at arguing and screaming.
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah.
No, they're good at arguing with people that haven't got the ability. But when someone comes up with the ability to argue against them, like Bev, they fucking crumble. So they're not. They're basically
they've
bullies.
still got the ability to work together to get their way out of it. They've got the sophistry. They've got the teamwork. They've got the
got a network of trolls. They got
but they don't get away with it. This is the point: is they don't get away with it when they're exposed. They you only get away with it if you admit that they just got away with it. They've never got away with it with me.
Yeah, you're right.
Even in the beginning, man, it's only if you admit it. But the point is, interacting with these people live or whatever, it's great. Well, for me anyway, it's great listening to the to the crap, because other people are hearing this as well. How they're having to make stories up and stuff like that, But as I say, they're well versed in it. They're well practiced. So it's but that's bullying. To me, that's bullying. And they think that they're not even whatever. But
they're like a pack of wolves, right? They're just waiting there for somebody to come along to disagree with them, or
that's what Ben will tell you. I mean, that's what what's his name, Jim will tell you.
Yeah.
Well, what they do is they'll maybe what I know they do is, for a fact, is what they'll do is every day, a lot of them, I'll type in flat Earth in the search bar, and what they'll do is today's, release today. How you can put a filter on it when, last week, last day, last 24, month or whatever. But you can. So what they do is they'll hit it for 1 day. They'll filter it for 1 day, and they'll find all these new channels. That's what Fight the Flat Earth was doing. That was him doing, and then he'd go and troll these people, right? And then he would say, come on to my channel or whatever. But if you know a guy called Red's Rhetoric, my first Flat Earth video about 4 years ago, he was my first comment. He left my first comment and invited me over to his so that he could show me where I was wrong. And it seemed genuinely the guy wanted to help me, because I had a bit of interaction with him. You know what I mean? But he genuinely seemed as if, no, you're misunderstanding it. He didn't seem like the person that he's sort of turned into now, It's quite funny. But he was the first. But that's what these do. They do it every day. They literally sit there and it's crazy. These guys there's something seriously mentally wrong with someone that wants to sit on the internet and just wait to troll people or tell people they're wrong, or what I mean? To me, that's strange behaviour. Anyway, but there you go. Who am I? What do I know?
Yeah. I don't know. There's this strange thing with people that want to argue with them as well, to be honest. Because, I mean, that you're never going to get anything. You're never going to go over there and be able to go, hey, guys, you know what? I've got a bit of a problem. Do you think we could, do you think we could work through this? Right? That's not, nobody's ever going to go over there and that's going to happen. So, you're going over there to, I don't know. I said, along the journey that you come along in life, one of the biggest steps that you have to come across is the fact that people who have taught you information that you have perceived to be vital, right? An authority. One of the steps is for you to realise that they didn't actually have a clue what they were talking about. Right? They were just making shit up. And I think going to a place like Gems, you realise that normally, I think with me it was Zanuck, because it's the easiestly defeated. But I mean, Rumpus may take a little bit longer for you to realise that they're stupid. Brenda, perhaps. You know, like at some point, somewhere along the line, you'll come to a conversation with someone and you will realise they don't actually know anything. They're just literally making stuff up on the spot. And at that point, you realise, oh, I thought this guy was clever. I thought the way he talked was clever. You know, he was good. But he's not. He's just making stuff up. It's just pure sophistry. You thought, I used to think that people like Rumpus were that clever that I just couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
Right, because I wasn't clever enough. But turns out he's talking shite. Nobody understands it. Not one person.
Yeah, could you guys let Rumpus talk? He's an expert in refraction. And then you just start rattling bullshit off. Yeah.
But as I say, that thing now, but see the thing, years ago, I've not been on Gems for years, man. But I used to go there, right? But as I say, I went away, I was there, and I was there for months doing what Jeremy does, right? I had loads and loads of free time. I've always had loads of free time, but as I say, I had loads of free time at that point. As I say, that thing now. Oh, I'm coming back, getting feedback there.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, that's the feedback. Don't worry.
So I used to go across there all the time, like constantly. And then I got disillusioned with it, and I went away. And I left. I didn't go there for about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month. And I went back again. And then I realised, fuck these guys. There's no point. What am I doing here? This is just such a poisonous environment. And I realised I was actually, because I questioned myself, well, why the fuck was I always coming across here? It's an addiction. A serious, it's a fucking addiction. For some reason that I was going across there, I was getting something about it. I was waking up in the morning, like a lot of people. I know a lot of people understand this because there's people still doing it now, and I can guarantee you, they're thinking the exact same way as that. They couldn't help. Oh, what's happening over there? Or I'm going to Jose's every day, or I go to Jose's. Or you actually start setting your timetable around these events, kind of thing, and it's an addiction. But when I went back the second time, I realised, fuck this. And then, so now when I interact with them, it's just to shout at them, make them sound stupid. I know exactly what they are. But I take my hat off for people that go across there and want to shout and bawl and whatever, do over there or whatever. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But for myself personally, it was an addiction, and I hate being controlled by, what do you call it, thing. Like, to me, I see that as a mainstream. That addiction's it's been injected into me by the powers that be through an education. They've made me, they've through the education system, they've given me that, or through my lifestyle, it's a false thing. I don't think it was a natural thing to be addicted, to go across to a place like that and get shouted at, abused and stuff like that. Not that it had any effect on me, but the point is, it doesn't seem a healthy environment to go into. But yet there I was for fucking ages, man. I think I was over there for a year, hammering it, and as I say, I had a little break, 3 weeks, a month, and I went back, and it was like, what the fuck? I think I stayed for about an hour, and I thought, fuck this. And I've never been back. So, but it's weird, man, the effect, but I still get it why people go across and they argue with them. I understand that. I get it, because I used to be one of them people. So, but it is a waste of time, really.
Yeah, it could be fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's it, and that's what it turned out for me. Clearly, as it was fun. So that's what I'm saying. I either want to make them want to shout at them, or just make them say something really stupid, or just fuck with them. Ask them a question that I know they don't know the answer to. Like Rumpus and stuff like that. He didn't know anything about back reflection or anything like that. Any of this stuff. I read that paper that the Rumpus quotes so much. That it's his friend, that thing. I wrote, it was actually Timmy Osman that introduced that paper, and I read it, and it proved everything I thought. It actually proves that what we say about refraction. It talks about see, Rumpus doesn't talk about things like light distinction, light extinction, and stuff like that. You know how certain colours can only travel so far. So, for example, if the bottom of a boat was painted blue and the top was red, there's a higher chance the bottom of the boat's going to disappear before the red top is it the further away you get. It's just down to your light frequencies and stuff like that. And it's all to do with that. See, that's in it as well. And then you've got the atmosphere. You've got all sorts of shit. And these guys, when Rumpus starts talking, he has not got a clue. He hides that paper. If people actually read that paper, it's a fascinating paper. Absolutely brilliant. And it's got loads of links to web pages for photographs. And, but it's basically that they haven't got a clue what light is. They don't know whether it's a wave, and all scientists will admit that, even though these guys like the Rumpus and George are making these definitions. This is definite. This is how light works in a medium. This is where the geometric horizon is. This is where it's a load of shit. Science doesn't even know that. If you look into it properly, science, they don't know what fucking light is, and they don't really know truly how it acts.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Hey, are you guys watching my screen at all?
No, I'm just in the Discord. I can just see the Discord.
Yeah, if you click on mine, you can see, or if you're
right,
in YouTube, the reflecting pool in Washington D.C., where they always have the Forrest Gump scene where he was running through the water and Jenny was out there. That thing is this section of that is 2,000 feet long. I pulled a Google Earth elevation profile. Of course, it's horizontal.
Well, look, it's so. I mean, I could just say I don't know one single fucking engineer that would even think about putting a curve in a 200-meter long fucking what do you call it, channel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You'd make it if you had it draining out the side like overflow. You would have your overflows on the side. You certainly wouldn't have a slope on it, because then the water would run away, meaning that you would have to keep filling it up, which means you would have to install a circulating pump to keep that fucking going. You're doing it straight, as flat and level as possible, man. And you'll have your soak away or your drainaways, your little drains on the side of it if it does.
I bet when they built that, they used like a water level.
I bet. What's a water level? I don't know what one of them is. Isn't that? Oh, that's one of the things that if I held it at one end and you walked like 5 miles away, you'd actually. It looked level to you, but relative to me, your water level would be actually facing away from me at an angle. Relative to the center of the globe.
Oh, you're crazy, man.
It's pathetic, isn't it, man? See, when they say that, I'm like, that's it. Do you know? Imagine that in your head, and that goes against all the laws of fucking physics. I don't give a shit, and they can say about gravity. That's fucking impossible. We could get a big ball that was with a circumference of say 10 meter, and you could have one end of the water level if you were able to stand on one side of the ball, and I could stand on the other way, and you'd see it wouldn't be fucking level, man. It'd be impossible. The only place it'd be level is when you're vertical, in a vertical position, man. If I was leaning back one way and you were leaning back the other way, that would show. The water level is designed to show you fucking when it's not level, right? Or when it is level.
Yeah, but they don't want to look down one end to the other, They want to look from one end to the other and go, oh, look at that perspective.
But that's one of the ploys of those rhetoric. What that is it's like creating a straw man. That's a non sequitur. It's like what Bev keeps saying. Why would the fuck would I want to look down a level? That's like a non sequitur. What it is they sit across there. Well, they used to have a little team called Troll Team 6, right?
Yeah.
These guys, they basically went about, you've heard about them. Went about doxing people, trolling people, the whole fucking works, man. Porn bombing, hangouts and stuff like that. That was That was
Yeah.
their little fucking.
I remember when P. Mars used to do that on live streams. I can't remember who it was, Jaren or somebody he got back in the day. Been a few years back. But hey, King Flatulist was telling me elevation is not curvature. Sheesh, what a fool, he says. I can measure elevation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is the change in the vertical. I mean, yeah, it's not curvature. I mean, why does he think it should be curvature?
I don't know. How could you ever measure curvature? That's just something you imagine, right?
Yeah, like from point to point is definitely a straight line, isn't it?
Looks like it. I drew a straight line on there, and it shows me it's a straight line.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to imagine straight lines curving, wouldn't you? I mean, I can't do that. I mean, a lot of people have tried to get me to do that for them, right? I can't. I can't imagine measuring an angle to a curve.
That's ridiculous.
Or a straight line bending. That's silly. It turns into a circle, doesn't it? Well, straight lines aren't circles. You can't make a straight line into a circle.
Yeah, I love how they say things like that, and then they run away because maybe they think about it and they realize, yeah, what is that curvature? Oh, here we go. Oh, he wants to play a word game.
Oh, nice. Semantics. They're good at semantic games.
Yeah. Elevation is a vertical change from the horizontal baseline that you live on. So what is curvature? Something you saw in a sci-fi film? Like, what is that sci-fi film? SpaceX. Yeah.
Jem Panda's good at handing out pictures from space, isn't he? I mean, he loves doing that. I mean, you want some proof? Here's a picture from space.
You've got to think of this, guys. You've got to think of this, guys, right? See, they're only, if you want to call it evidence or proofs, right? The only proof they've got, right, is just what you just were fucking talking about there. Pictures from space. That's all they've got is proof. You can't prove it looking up the moon, the sun. No, but look, their version of proof. Let's not get into fucking semantics.
Yeah, but they're just redefining
Let's not get into
words.
semantics now, Bev, please. We just talked about it there. Right? The point is, it's them, right? That's their definition, right? But that is in their definition, that is the only proofs or evidence or whatever what people want to fucking nitpick it means or whatever. But whatever they present as, look here is the earth, this is the earth that we live on, right? Say they're just presenting that, but that's all they've got to present is photographs. Whereas we can go out and say, well, we've got logic, also got measurements as well. We can do physical measurements. They haven't got anything like that. They absolutely have not. They can talk about refraction, and that's not proof of curve. Refraction is not proof of curve. They haven't got anything apart from the photographs. End of story, man. End of story. They've got such the most weakest art, and they just don't see it. The rest of their stuff is just hypothetical with axioms that don't have to be proved, man, or proven. You know, as they just have to be agreed upon. You know, if this, then that. But you've got to agree on if this, and if someone said, yeah, okay, well, if that, then yeah, well, that's possible, and oh yeah, that's possible as well, but only if that is true, the initial axiom, right? And that's how you get away with this philosophical.
No, that's not an axiom, Ali.
It is indeed, Bev.
No,
it can be proved.
No. An if-then statement is a logical statement. It's not an axiom. It's not axiomatic.
No, an axiom is, right. Okay, right. See, that I'll state an axiom, right? I can state an axiom. If the Earth is a spinning ball, that's an axiom.
No, it's not.
That is an axiom, maybe.
No.
But anyway, no matter. I'm not going to argue it. But an axiom can be either true or false. It doesn't matter. It can be a false, but it can still be an axiom. An axiom does not have to be proven to be true. It just has to be agreed upon. That's a fact. If you look up the definition of what an axiom is,
Okay,
that's how you get away with it.
I have, but I will do again.
An axiom. Here's an axiom. Here's an axiom, right? The universe was a bubbling, boiling mass of particles.
That's
right.
Not a basis of fact that you can build upon.
What you doing?
But wait a minute. It doesn't have to be. That's the point I'm saying. It doesn't have to be a fact, clearly, right? It doesn't have to be a fact. An axiom doesn't have to be a fact or logical.
Yeah, it does. You've played their game.
No, I've not played their game at all.
You have.
I'm not playing their game at all.
You've let them redefine the word axiom. An axiom is a self-evident truth. It doesn't need to be explained. It is self-evident.
Right, but exactly. But you're saying, right, so there's axioms in science, but when you say an axiom has to be self-evident, right?
Axiom is a statement or proposition which is regarded as being established, accepted, self-evident, true.
Yeah, a self-evident principle, or one that is accepted as true without proof as the basis of an argument, a postulate. It's self-evident. It doesn't need to be argued because it is. I mean, otherwise you'll end up arguing with everything. You have to have some things that everybody establishes as true, as self-evident. That's what axioms and postulates are.
I totally agree with you, Bev, but the problem is we're not playing. That's the problem. That's reality. But right? We're in two different dimensions. We are in the dimension of reality, right? They're in the dimension of fucking La La Land or whatever it is, right? So they've got certain rules and regulations that they play with.
Shout out to SE.
If you want to play with them, yeah, shout out SE. But if you want to play with them, you have to learn their rules and regulations. And the only way that you are able to debunk. I don't agree with that. I don't agree on axioms can be... nothing's 100%. So I don't... Even if someone said an axiom's based on fact, well, what's a fact? What's true?
Well, like a Euclid axiom.
You know what I mean?
Euclid axiom number 1. Things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another.
Right, I agree. That's an axiom because it says something and it's agreed upon, right? Yeah. It's agreed upon. Right, but they agree on things as well. They make axioms up and they agree. What about that? I don't believe anything these scientists say, but they make up axioms. They describe that as an axiom.
They just hijack axiom. They like to hijack.
I know they've hijacked to what they've hijacked. They've hijacked.
They like to hijack entire groups of people and change, what they represent. But they love to do it with words as well.
Yeah, words especially. That's the best way that they can do it. If they can change the word, then they don't actually have to lie about anything. They can just carry on saying the same thing, but just change the meaning of a word. Now, an axiom's a self-evident truth. If it's not self-evident, it can't be an axiom. It's
agreed upon as well, though.
It's not a consensus, though. I can't just say, that's a black hole, and you go, that's a black hole. Well, me and Allie agreed upon it, so it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, that I wouldn't agree with that as being an axiom.
No, that's right, and it's their get-out clause for an axiom. They say, oh, well, that's not an axiom, Bev. This is actually an axiom. An axiom can be not agreed upon. That's the way that they get out. That's their argument for that.
Well, they're liars because another one.
I know they fucking...
axiom number 11: all right angles are equal to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly, and that's self-evident, man.
Exactly.
But the problem is that, but they'll bring in their hyperbolic fucking geometry or their spherical geometry, which is not Euclidean geometry. So
which they have no axioms for, Ali.
Say again.
They have no axioms for their geometry.
Oh, I know. Yep. I agree with you.
Right.
Absolutely.
What we're saying is, here is the axioms. These are self-evident truths, and what you're arguing for is for them saying, "No, I'm just going to make up something else." Right. Well, that's a ridiculous argument. That shouldn't even be.
I'm not arguing. I'm pointing out, Bev. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just pointing out their mentality.
Oh, I know. We're just telling you. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I know, but I don't need. I always base my statements on. I don't believe right, get this, understand this about me. I don't believe one single word that comes out of these people's mouths, right? When I talk about axioms and stuff like that, I know it's all fake. I know they've stolen it. I know everything. But unfortunately, that's how I interact with these people. And the only way that I interact with them is by knowing their science, their language. And their language is a load of shit as well. That's what I'm saying. But I don't get me wrong, just because I'm saying, I'm just pointing out that is the way that they think. So when you say a certain word like axiom, if you said an axiom, the person you're saying to that, depending on what he's been told an axiom is, he'll be whatever you say after that will be based on his belief of what an axiom is. And if you're
you know what's funny though? You know what's funny? I mean, I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but then that again is what we do here. Is when you repeat what they say, you're creating a foundation of lies because you're repeating the lies.
Fuck's sake!
Man. No, I'm not trying to beat up on you. I'm just saying if somebody.
No, but that's total. I don't get that at all. I don't get that at all. Look, listen to this. It's not for me to say.
Just think about it this way. Real quick, like somebody tells you a lie, right? And you go over to the pub and you repeat that lie to your buddy. And now he understands that it was a lie, but the guy next to you heard that. And he goes off and tells somebody else as if it was truth, right?
They half heard it.
Yeah.
Right, okay, let me defend that. Let me defend that then. So
just hang on. One last thing. People listening to the show hear you repeat what the Globers say. They may be half paying attention. They may be doing something else. But that lie that you told them, the Globers lie, that's not yours. The thing you just said is going straight into their brain.
Yeah, and also that will be going into their brain is when I say to them I don't believe it and point out the flaws in it.
Well, they missed that part because their internet sucks and they only heard the part you said.
See, well, there you go. That's their problem. Look, the thing is, right? The thing is, I do things my kind of way, right? If I give people more credit that come into my chat, I don't have to explain things to them. I don't start with the premise, right? Everybody in this chat is a fucking idiot, right? If I'm talking, it's up to them to deserve. Wait a minute, well, let me finish now, right? So I give the people that are in the chat the credit that they can think logically and rationally for themselves. So I don't feel as if I need to go and differentiate between what I'm going to say and I better not say that because I say what I like, and I give the people in the chat the respect that I don't start on the premise or the axiom which isn't proven, that I'm talking in front of 100 idiots.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yeah, what's that meant to mean?
That means don't go around saying things that... I'm not trying to lecture you. I'm just saying, if you go around saying things...
You shouldn't lecture me because I'm older than you, Cleary.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I'm 49. But,
I'm 56, so there you go.
You got me, yeah. But if you say what you mean and you mean what you say, that guy at the pub that barely halfway heard what you said won't come back to you later and say, hey, I heard you say that, there was an axiomatic system with non-Euclidean geometry. Oh no, I was just repeating some bullshit Rumpus told me. Oh really? I had it confused with what you said because you're the one that said it. That's all.
Yeah, right. So that's well, see that there though, Cleary. That's like you being, that film Minority Report.
Yeah,
I'd have to live as if that every single word that I said was going to affect people's lives. And as I say, I give people the credit. See, I still think humanity is quite smart. These people that go in there and troll like your b-balls and their minds don't want to be changed or whatever. So I it's not for me to change people's minds. People can take what they want. But do you understand, right?
Yeah, but like if I go and talk to my son, if I go and say something to my son, I say, hey, I want to tell you a few things real quick. Take the trash out, cut the grass, clean your room, get a shower, and walk the dog, and I'll be back later. Guess how much of that shit he's actually going to remember?
I heard walk the dog.
Well,
That's all I can remember.
I don't get the relationship by me wanting to explain to people the psychological state of these people's brains, the way that they think. And if you want to interact with them, this is how you have to interact with them, or don't interact with them. But if you want to interact with them in a way that you're going to be able to participate in a rational conversation, you have to learn to talk in their language and use words. Know that when you use a word, they're thinking it that way. That's all. That's all. And as I say, I give people credit in the chat. I don't think everybody in the that goes into chat are idiots and stuff like that. It'd be absurd for me to think that. So I just
you should see the guy in my chat. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're trolls. Clearly, they're trolls. They're not people that are what do you call it, on the fence or
King Flatulence. He says, "Oh, poor Allie, so dumb." Yeah, he's a troll.
But I don't. I mean, that's. I mean, that to me. Well, I don't care. But the point is, you know, as I say, you know, I don't. I know you guys don't like it when, you know.
Haley says I could listen to Allie B accent all day. Yeah, we don't like it. No, I mean, you know, everybody can do what they want, but you know, if we don't agree with something, then we'll call you out. We're not trying to make
it. Well, I'm still talking to you. We're still friends. I don't care. I don't take criticism. But as I say, I'll stand behind. What about? No, well, see, that's just getting petty, so I don't really care about that. So, but anyway, the point is that, as I say, I give people credit to. If
well, like somebody says, "Hey, Ali B was on Jose's." Really? What did he say? Oh, he just was repeating a lot of things the Globeheads say. Or no, he made some statements that really made me think about, you know, reality. You know, it's just up to you. It's up to you what you want to do.
Yeah, but yeah. That's exactly, and that's as I said. You know, some things annoy me about some people, but as I say, it's not my right to go about telling people, you know, how to question people or you know what they should do. All I can do is what do you call it? Speak as I want to defend it. You know, defend my philosophy on how I want to do things. You know, I don't try to tell people how, you know, they should. I used to think I had the right to in the beginning because I was, what do you call it? It's like you've got a company and you hate it when someone embarrasses, you know, because you become very possessive of like your company and you feel embarrassed when people talk. You know, I've had that. People, when I'd see or cringed or think, for fuck's sake, like with that. But with some people, right, good, you're laughing because you know what it's like, and I've done that, and sometimes I get it and that, but I have to keep reminding myself, well, you know, I can't say anything about that. I cannot, you know, I can bring it up if it gets brought up, but is it really helpful? I would choose like who I would bring it up to, like, you know, I mean, if I had a problem with you or Brian or Bev, I could feel as if I could bring it up to you and might have a bit of a shout and a ball and stuff like that. But after that, one of us would be take it away from it and say, well, fair enough, you know, we've all got, someone would end up saying, yeah, and we've all got a right to our own opinion, and then it just get dropped, and the other person you were arguing would understand, fuck it, okay, you know, it's a difference of opinion, boom, that's it, you know.
That's interesting, actually, you say that, because what if you're not providing opinions and you're only providing statements of fact, like you're citing geometrical facts or things like that, you know? That's for
you to realise, isn't it? Well, that's what I'm saying. You take the bigger ground, right? You think of it, and analogize it as a war, right? So you're in a war here and you're battling like fuck with it, trying to get your, and I don't mean a physical, you're trying to battle like fuck to get that, just quoting things, just to accept one fact or whatever, and that guy's not going to accept it or whatever. Well, do you know, it's kind of up to you what to do next. You know, then you go, okay, fair enough, I'm not going to discuss it anymore with you and walk away, then there is no argument. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's down to you to be the bigger person. It's like apologising, you know, you've had a disagreement with a mate, right? You're really pissed off with a mate, and you kind of know he's in the wrong, but you can kind of see it from his point of view. You go, fuck it, this is stupid, and you just go and apologise. You take it, even though you still have a tiny feeling you were right, but just to get the peace, and because it's so stupid to fall out if you've had a 15-year friend If fall out with someone over that stupid argument, be stupid. So you just go, boom, you do the bigger thing. So as I say, you do the bigger thing. If you don't want to fucking argue with that person, walk away. Or say, right, we just agree to disagree. You know, that's it. And that's it. Well, that's the way I look at it anyway. So every time I end up getting upset by a ball or start shouting, you know, I know it's my fault because I'm interacting with the fucker. But it is, you know what I mean? It's like take your own, if you really want to be a what do you call it, a true, if you want to, for wanting a better example, a free man. Being a free man means that you take responsibility for everything that happens to you in your life. So as I say, you choose to interact with people, you choose to work, you choose to pay taxes, you choose to whatever, but we choose to do things. We don't get forced into anything. You know, we might get punished if we don't, but you know, we've still got the choice there. Still got the choice to do that thing, even though we might get punished. You know, the choice is never ever taken away from us. It's just that we either choose to do something or we choose not to. That's just basically how I look at it.
You say a free man? I thought you said something else. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Exactly.
But not in like that movement, not in that law. Yeah, you probably had a look into that as well, Cleary. I take it, you know, the sovereign citizen kind of thing.
Oh God, I had a friend that was in jail for 6 months because he was like, "I'm a sovereign," and they're like, "Really? Well, you can sit right here for a while." Finally, 6 months later, he's like, "Okay, yeah, I'm done with this."
Yeah.
They're like, "Okay, you can leave now."
Yeah, exactly. It's not worth it. I got upset at a few people because what they were. Because I suddenly found out that it was crazy, you know, even though it's true and stuff like that. But really, if you want to end up going into that place of business, you really have to know what you're doing.
Oh,
Really
I wouldn't even begin to go down that road. Honestly, it's a big, big topic.
Yeah. It's not even worth it, and it's not even worth encouraging. But there was a big community there. And look what there's a perfect example. Look what happened to your friend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a free man. No, you're not.
Well,
6 months later, all right, I'm not a free man. Can I get out now?
Exactly. They're like, well, we would release you if we could process you through the system, basically, you know. But eventually, that was a long time ago. That was back in the old Nibiru era.
Oh, I just remember.
What was that guy's name? Croft. So full of shit. Terrell Croft. Yeah, I used to call him the Tomb Raider, like Lord Croft. But yeah, people that are full of shit.
What were you into before Flat Earth and Cleary?
My original channel was Anunnaki. Used to look into all that. You know, you thought an asteroid was going to hit the Earth, whatever. There was some planet and all that bullshit. And then, you know, one day my son's like, "Hey, look at this Tesla they launched into space back in 3 years ago now." I was like, "Damn, that's some bullshit. Is that supposed to be real?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?" After that, man, it was all over. I came across Eric DeBay and Mark Sargent, and here we are today.
All that thing with NASA, it just opens up like a big fucking book right in front of you. Think,
you know that shit's on purpose. I mean, really.
Say again?
It's got to be on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you shoot a damn Tesla up into space with a dummy in it, knowing, you know, the thermosphere is supposed to be 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and you know, it's just ridiculous.
You're talking about space right now.
Yeah, no, actually,
that's why we do it.
It was just a movie studio.
We heard you were away for a second, Bev, so we sneaked it in quickly.
That sounded like me, but that was actually Allie talking about space.
Blame me, Cleary. Fuck you, man. Cheers, mate. I know, I'm glad you've got my back.
He changes his voice. Allie is like a voice actor. He made himself sound like me.
I'm having a talking to, like I said earlier, about Professor Phil and doing a proof for proof, right? I'm just gonna come. I'm gonna come from reality, and go right down first principles and explain how we do it and give proof, right? So I am willing to match any of these people, proof for proof. Now, I don't judge anybody. I don't call bullshit on anything anybody says. I'm just happy to listen to people explaining stuff. So these people that seem to think that I will call bullshit and that's the reason that they don't need to come in here and present anything, well, that doesn't really work. That just sounds like an avoidance technique. So, once again, everyone, Bob and who else, Tom and all of those in the chat, Professor Phil, probably Jem, anybody that thinks that they don't need to come in here because they know what we're going to say. Well, it's just it's proof for proof. I'll present a proof. You present a proof. I'll present a proof. You'll present a proof. Everybody else who's watching, they're the ones that'll be learning. They'll learn from us showing our proofs. Pretty simple. So I'm cooking. I'm gonna do that thing with Rob Keane in a bit at 7:00. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that and practicing my presentation and everything. So anybody's willing to just come in anytime. I won't. I mean, it's not up to me to call bullshit on anybody. I mean, everybody's heard people saying all sorts of shit to me.
Me included.
Yeah, it does. Well, everybody can. I mean, it doesn't really matter what anybody says round here. Once you've been round here long enough, you learn that it doesn't matter anything, right? People say all sorts of stupid shit to everybody all the time. And nobody cares. People say straight lines bend. People say circles are straight lines. People say all sorts of really weird shit. So just come and show your proof. I'll show my proof. Let everybody else decide. I mean, it's pretty easy, isn't it? I mean, especially when it's something like proving a straight line and stuff like that. We could do that. We start off with the really early proofs. Anyway, I've got to cook my tea, so chat away for a bit.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe
right,
I'll.
I just wanted to say to Bev. Can I just quickly say? I just want to say to Bev, the experience that I've had when your channel started. You lightly got. It was quiet at first, and you literally got bombarded with half a James server. Right, they were coming over. Then slowly they kind of died away. I think they just got sick of saying shite all the time. We're having to make up stories. We're running out of stories and arguments now, so they're frightened to come in. Bev, you've scared them off, man.
Yeah, they have to say some stupid shit, and they don't want to say it. Like they know it's being recorded, right?
I know. They stopped doing it. It was brilliant, man. I've had so much fun watching your channel and listening to these guys, man. I'm like, this is fucking gold.
Have you seen the latest music one, right? Because there's loads of trolls, but it's like a shield of invincibility we've got now. They don't come over here. They're so scared, and everyone, Simon Dan, Fight for Flat Earth, all of them. McToons.
Oh, he's a clown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the second person to get interviewed with him. He contacted me and he asked me if he'd done a series when he first started his channel. He wanted to chat with Flat Earthers, so he invited me across and for a chat. So I had a chat with him, and I thought, and you talk to these guys behind the scenes, and it was very polite, and we had a great wee chat or whatever. And the next time I seen him, I was like, who is this guy? This guy's not like, he was just slagging off people. See his persona now, man. You should go back to, because I met a totally different guy when he first started. He was just like a normal dude. He said, asking me normal questions. The guy seemed to be genuine. But I'm telling you, after about 2-3 months of interacting with the Jane Pandas, because they all end up there first. Either they all end up there first, then they either continue going there, but everybody goes there first. Every ball earther gets fucking indoctrinated or invited across there. Oh, look, there's a server come across. We talk about Ball Earth. These guys are stupid. And then they do their brainwashing on there. And these guys come out, you know, you can notice it with your Toadie, Stingray, that Druss, what do you call it? There was another guy that he actually quit. He actually quit because his blood pressure was going
Curved.
Like, who
The
is
new
that?
Black Death, Curved.
No, him. He's Curved Water, but as I say, well, he's from the old atheist community. But all these noobs that came in, as I say, like Stingray and Druss and Toadie and all these guys, I met them fresh as they just come into the flat earth. So I got good conversations. And as I say, I said, I'll bet you any money they'll head off to James. And I'm telling you, man, the difference between if you go and listen to the early shows that they first turned up on, and you hear them interacting with flat earthers, and then go about when they still used to go on maybe 3 months later, 4 months later, you watch it. And, you know, it's not correlation, man. These guys go across there and they come out like fucking calling us retards and stuff like that, you know, and fucking, you know, curved lines are straight and fucking all this shit, man, when they know that it's not fucking true.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And they become liars, though, but they become liars because now they're in a group. Now they're trapped, right? Unlike you and me or whatever, I can say what the fuck I like. I don't give a fuck if anybody takes a offence or my beliefs or what I think. I don't care. It's only my close friends and my family's opinion that matters because they're the only ones that know me. But the point is, these guys now are trapped, right? This is the only joy I get out of it. Maybe it's a bit twisted, but these guys are trapped because these are the type of people that have bought into the fact, oh, we need groups to fit in. I want to fit in. I want to fit in. I stopped trying to fit in when I was about 19 because I realised, wait a minute, what's the fucking point? I can't be myself if I'm trying to fit in, so fuck it. If people can't accept me as I am, well, tough shit, man, you know. You know, your true friends will, they'll accept all your faults. That's who true friends are. They accept your faults and you accept theirs. But now these fuckers are trapped, and that's what I can just sit back and just think, yeah, well, you know, the small satisfaction when I hear these people being horrible to, you know, bullying some of these some flat earthers and stuff like that, you know, doing that. That's my satisfaction that I get, that they're trapped.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, look right here. Are you in the? Can you see the offing text right there next to the where we're at in the boys?
In the offing,
offing text right above it.
Oh yeah.
Like, look at that. What ICQ put up there. He said, "Is the black line straight? The red reference line is straight. The black line printed on the ball is parallel to the red line. Therefore, the black line must also be straight." He's got a line apparently on a curved ball surface, asking if it's straight. No, you look at it from one. You look at it from one direction right here. It looks like it's
I just want to say something about this, right? But I just want to say something about this, right? Okay, I'll accept. Apparently, that looks straight, but in reality, is it straight? No, it's not. It's a fucking circle. It's a curved line. That's the reality. It might look like that. It might, oh, look, that looks straight. Yes, it does look straight, but in reality, it's not fucking straight. It's a circle and it's a curved line. It just looks like that. So piss off. That's the most stupid. That's the most stupid. That's one of the most stupid arguments I hear, and it so frustrates me. I think you guys are fucking idiots, man. Oh, sorry.
Exactly. If you look at it just right from just the right angle, it looks like a straight line, doesn't it?
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's so stupid. And that's what I say. People hear that. People hear that, and the people that don't hear that clearly, this is my thing on it. So I don't mind if they spout their rhetoric or whatever, or I interact with them and they spout their rhetoric. Is the fact that, see, the people that don't get it, I wouldn't want them to be defending. I'll let them find their own path. Then, you know what I mean? I'm not really bored about them. They shouldn't. If people are going to buy that's a straight line, then
they're lying to themselves. Yeah. How can you help them? Yeah.
Right. There's no helping, because we weren't taught. Everybody would know that that's not a straight line. They would say, well, it looks straight, but it's not, because it's on a ball, and so it will be a circle. It's curved, obviously. You know what I mean?
Obviously, yeah. It's like let's see. Just had this up earlier. It's all about the
I put it in the often text because I've got a handle on that, so I can look at that. Any pictures you want me to comment on, just stick them in the often text, and I can read it.
mhm.
The other one, I can't seem to. I don't get the option of clicking you, so I see when you present something.
Yeah, hang on, I'll copy this then.
It used to do this. I used to be able to do this, but for some reason it doesn't do it anymore. So
do you see that right there in the offing text, number 11?
hang on. Yep.
Like you got, think about longitude lines on the fake globe, right? Or number 10, yeah. That, number 10 axiom.
Yeah. All right angles are equal to one another.
No, actually, it's a number 10, sorry.
Oh, you want two straight lines cannot enclose a space. Of course
Right.
they can't.
Exactly. So they want to call longitude lines on a curved spherical surface a straight line. But Euclid said that two straight lines could not enclose a space.
Which is blatantly obvious. And you can prove it by saying, okay then, draw one. Draw two lines encircling a fucking space then. Show me that.
Yeah.
You can't do it. So there's the proof. It's that's what I'm saying. I get it. You know, this is, as I say, the logic on it. But the good thing is you can ask someone to do that. I say, okay, then you've said you can. If the rumpus says you can, ask him to draw one. Okay, ask him, can you draw any one of these questions where it says things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another? If he says, no, it's not, all right, okay, show me something that's not then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a killer.
Yeah. It just asks him to show you or draw it.
Well, that things that are equal to one another, that's mathematics, right? That's the foundation of all maths as well. 2 plus 2, right? 2 is equal to 2. If the numbers are even, then they're even. They're basic axioms that travel through everything. So if you're willing to dick about with the basic fundamentals of everything mathematical because you're willing to diss the geometry that started the maths in the first place, then I don't understand why it's just disregarded, right? Because we've heard that before, boring argument. It's not. It's like a fundamental. If you're dicking about with people and arguing with people about straight lines curving, well, you're dicking about with the foundations of all known mathematics. And these people seem to realise they rely on the mathematics a hell of a lot, but they seem to just disregard it because it's not convenient for their model. It's a bit of a contrary position for them to hold.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they're the ones that go on about logic and reasoning. Oh, you don't understand, and all that kind of thing. All to do with, rational thinking. They accuse us of not having it when in fact they don't have it. It's just gaslighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what they have is inductive reasoning and not deductive, and they think that they've got something. They think they've got science, but then they'll, in the same breath, say science doesn't prove anything because their science is pseudoscience, right? They have I wouldn't say it's flawed reasoning, but it's not based on facts, right? It's just opinions and beliefs.
Oh, it is flawed reasoning, I think, clearly. It is. Yeah, I think it is. To base a whole science, for example, like the Big Bang or something like that, or where we came from, to base a whole science on, fucking irrational, and that's where it comes from. It's not, that's what's got us into the trouble in the first place. They've went off to the pseudoscience end of it and left us this behind. I wish I got taught about this. The axioms of geometry, how it was actually logic. I got it straight away when you first started that series. I thought, fuck, can't really argue with any of them, really, you know.
Yeah, like look at deductive versus inductive logic. Of course, you can get many variations of this, but the deductive logic is a hypothesis,
Right.
facts, and then a conclusion. And then inductive is facts or observations, hypothesis, and a theory. You know.
Now I'll need to look into that, because I tried. I think ages ago I was going through that logic stage, trying to, the Socratic method and all that. Right, I found something interesting about that, but I could never explain that. Right, but explain it in give me an example of inductive in regards to what do you call it, deductive reason, because I couldn't actually get a grip of it. I needed to explain like this stuff here, the geometry, Euclidean geometry. I needed that explained, and that was just, I got it straight away. I was like, fucking, there you go. What? That's the best explanation I'd ever heard. It was, and I got it. So what is that then? Explain that to me, like an inductive. Say, what's inductive reasoning? Give me an example of, so that
like inductive would be like you look through a telescope and you see some bright light in the sky, and you say, that must be another galaxy, and then you formulate a theory that it's a galaxy, and then you believe it, right? Based on what you see or others see, and you all agree, and it's just basically pseudoscience, right?
Right.
But, hypothesis is like, a deductive would be, I believe that canal is flat. Okay, well, I'll measure it, 3 different ways.
Deductive would be an if-then with a definite answer at the end, either a yes or no, right?
Yeah,
inductive is maybe, sometimes, perhaps type statement. But deductive is a if this, then this.
Right.
Right.
If I can measure it horizontally.
Not that, right? It's a on-off switch, deductive.
Yeah, if I can measure horizontal, then I know it's not curved, whichever way. There's probably a better way to do it. This is just
so the deductive is basing it on a succession of facts or certain whatever things that you can test or something, so you're going, oh right, this is done, oh that happened there, that done that.
Yeah, something that you could something that is a fact through logic, something that's material, something that's tangible, that's something that's measurable. Not just the consensus of,
Yeah. You follow I think the clues, and the inductive is the what's that one again? The inductive, how is that one described again?
Inductive. Bev could probably do it better than me, but inductive is just looking at something and making shit up.
Right.
No. The simple way between the deductive and inductive is a deductive statement is a if this then this, like with a definite answer, either yes it does that or no it doesn't do that, right? There's no in between, whereas inductive leaves that wiggle room, right? Maybe sometimes, most of the time this happens. So there's always that bit where they not all the time, whereas deductive it's definite.
Yeah, inductive is like, this happens every year, so I'm gonna say it's gonna happen this year, and you don't get a hurricane this year, and your inductive logic was flawed, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah. For the past 7 years, we've had a hurricane in June. So I'm predicting there, it doesn't happen, so therefore it was inductive.
Yeah.
Right, I get you. So it's based on
like a pattern sometimes.
Right, I'm with you. Yeah, right, okay.
It's just a guess. It's just, you observe things and you assume things and you believe things. But yeah, it's just, there's a lot of different ways to look at it. You could just, look at it and determine how you want to explain it, right? Deductive versus inductive, reasoning, logic, and then look at which one the globe heads use. It's very obvious, you know. The thing that
Do they
does
use logic? Do they use logic at all?
that's the thing about you can have a logical argument, you know, and it could be based on a false premise, you know. So it's kind of a big topic,
Yeah.
really.
You've got to mind your P's and Q's, like Emma says. Mind your P's and Q's. If you don't get your P's and Q's right, then your logic will be flawed, for sure.
What was the P's and Q's for? I remember you mentioning this months ago. I was like, oh, fuck, I wondered what that was
Your
about.
P's your antecedent, and your Q is your consequent.
Right.
So
P's and Q's.
it's really hard to sort out. If you ever tried to sort out a logical statement, it's really difficult, right? Because you don't even know where to start because it's that confusing. But when QE did the Black Swan, it wasn't logic. It wasn't fully formed. So I did manage to form that one, right? So take this for the antecedent, right? If the Earth is a spherical object, P, right? That's a pretty good statement, right? For a premise, for a start of a premise, right? Yeah. If the Earth is a spherical object, P, consequent of that would be then the surface of liquid water must curve. Q.
Yeah.
Right? So the antecedent and the consequent absolutely fit, right? There's no way around. There can't be like flat water and a curved ball, right? Because you can't have flat surfaces on a ball. A ball is a constant curvature, right? A sphere. So the antecedent and the consequent both fit perfectly, right? So that you call that the opening statement of a premise. That is logic, and a logic is a logical argument up for debate, right? So then you choose what to do with that, right? Now you can either prove that the water does curve, right? And then you would have proof for that statement. Or you could go modus tollens and choose to negate, because it's a logical statement, if this, then this, and it's deductive, like there's it either does it or it doesn't do it, right? So you can use the modus tollens to negate the consequent. You can just say a water level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference as known and used by builders and everybody everywhere for however. That's a straight line. Therefore, negating Q, therefore you can negate P, right? Not Q, therefore not P.
Yeah.
The Earth isn't a spherical object. But I mean, that's just logic, and it's just a deductive logical statement. I mean, hey, I just said it. It's only deductive logic. I mean, you know.
But it's that's what I'm saying. I like that when you first said that. It is, you know, that kind of does negate it. You can't really argue against that, although they would try.
There's so many different ways you can explain it. Like deductive logic, you start with a premise, you have a conclusion. The conclusion follows with certainty from the premises, right? But inductive logic, you have 90% of humans are right-handed. John is a human, therefore John is right-handed, right? The conclusion follows not with certainty, but only with some probability, a risky inference.
Right. I'm with. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I tried that logic thing, the logic thing, but trying to, you know, break down sentences and stuff. Fuck that. But as I say, I liked when you done your Euclid's elements, listen to the postulates. That was good. I've always liked numbers, and I was always good. Well, I was good at arithmetic at school. They wouldn't let me take maths, but I was good with numbers. I've always been good with numbers, so I found it fascinating when you used to do the classes.
Yeah, we need to do another one of those geometries.
I enjoyed them anyway. I've watched them a couple of times.
Absolutely, I love it. Are we going to geometry obsessed?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Geometry and logic obsessed. We're going to be coming soon.
Yeah, but it was just like good listening to you guys talking, and I enjoyed the bit, Bev telling, when you and SE started like asking other questions or going on to other subjects. He's like, right, let's get back to this.
I don't know if we could do a better one than we did that time. That was pretty good.
I tell you what, that was awesome to listen to, guys. It really was. I was laughing away, but it was brilliant. Just all the information there. I didn't find it boring whatsoever.
It's the way you logic through it. Or we were looking at one, and SE's like, "That's bullshit right there," and then I was like, "Wait a minute, wait, let's get to the next one."
No, but I have to say, Bev, I think you'd make a very good teacher, actually. A good teacher, just because of the way that you explained it, or the way that you can sort of like concentrate.
Well,
the point to and give simple definitions and give good. I enjoyed it anyway. That's what I'm saying. So it was good.
Maybe that's what he's doing already, right? Right here, out here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's good, but it's good. What do you call it? It's That's good information.
Some lessons take a long time to go in, right? A long time. Perhaps,
but I don't think
perhaps we've been learning all along, right? Bit by bit, drip by drip. Hopefully, anyway.
It's like when you were, when you started on about the theodolites and stuff like that, right? I was doing that a few, because I'd used theodolites, right? I was convinced, I fucking knew they put the covenant, because I'm like, there's no way. Because I knew what a theodolite, well, it was a dumpy I used, right? I worked as a chain boy when I was like 17, 18 for about 6 months before I started like concreting and stuff like that. But so I worked at that, and when these ballers started talking about theodolite, I said, wait a minute. I said, theodolite doesn't measure. I was like, how does that? We were transferring levels and stuff like that, and it was like, it doesn't fucking measure curvature. I says, they must put because I looked into that geodetic summing. And I know the process. I know what a fucking chain is. I know what a theodolite does. I know what a stadia is. I know what, or the staff, if people want to call that, or if they want to call that a stick, they can call it. But I knew all this stuff, like, because I'd done it like 30 odd years ago. As I say, I had 6 months, and I've always been in building, so I know what these things.
Yeah, that's good when you have a good fundamental understanding of something that's practical that you've actually used. Hang on real quick. Do you see this troll comment right here? Let me just read this real quick. He says, I have a hypothesis that straight lines never curve. I know the axiom that a line parallel to a straight line is also a straight line. I observe a line that appears to be straight that curves around a ball. I put a straight alongside of the image and find that these lines are parallel to each other, but one line curves and the other does not. Conclusion, my hypothesis is wrong. That is deductive reasoning.
What, your hypothesis is, wow, didn't check your P's and Q's. That's the conclusion.
I don't even know where to begin with that.
Wow, that's brilliant, that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't even understand it.
That's the trick.
No, I don't want clarification.
Yeah.
It's like that, the black line and the red line. He says one's on the ball, the other one's, a reference. Yeah. You look at it just the right way and pretend like it's a straight line.
You can have a straight line parallel to a curve, right? Yeah. I mean, like I put a straight alongside of an image and find that these lines are parallel to each other, but one line curves and the other does not. How can they be parallel to each other? That's absolutely crazy.
That has to be WS.
Yeah.
Because it was blocked when it came up.
Yeah.
Never been mashed.
That's well done, dude. I mean, that's like a pure crazy talk, right?
That's pure WS, yeah.
Yeah. Well done. In support of the ball model, I guess, or maybe a concave earther. Not too sure. We best find out.
All right, guys. Yeah, we've been going a couple hours here. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just read his thing and I got it. Yeah, no. Your conclusion should be that you're a dumbass, mate. That's what your conclusion should be.
Yeah.
Because I tell you that's now I get it, Claire. I just read it there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he noticed
like
that the word. Wait a minute. Notice that the most important word in that whole statement that he made. He said, "I observe a line that appears to be straight." That curves around a ball. It only appears to be straight, my friend. It's really a curved line going around a ball that you distinctly just said in his bit of paper there.
Because he had a flawed premise. Yeah.
Well, it's a 2D. That's a 2D image he's talking about, and a ball is not a 3D. Is not a 2D image.
Yeah.
So he's that line is on a 2D image, so of course it's going to look fucking straight. What do you expect it to look any other? It's a 2D image. If you looked at it was a ball, you'd look at it on the side and you'd see it was clearly curved.
Yeah, they play that game all the time. The equator is a straight line, you know. The constant velocity that they never talk about ever, you know. Newton's first law of motion is that a straight line. For constant velocity, you have to have a straight line. You can't be turning around in a circle. You can't be doing all that shit, right? They say you're on a spinning Earth that you can't feel moving. You know, that would have to be a linear motion, which they totally never talk about that. Okay, they never want to speak of that. But yeah. Anyway, it's all based on bullshit.
Yeah, well, that thing you're saying about the linear, that rotation thing, I always find it funny when when they always say, "Well, think you're on a roundabout." I have to point out to these people, look, if you want to pretend or replicate you on a ball, you would have to be lying down on the roundabout. You're not sitting up because you don't sit. They are basically saying the Earth is a spinning disc when they say that. You understand? It's not the right velocity that we travel in, an angular velocity, not linear. It's angular velocity, right?
So well, they're all screwed up, man. They got the ring laser gyroscope, and they say that it shows a rotation of 15 degrees per hour. Do they think they're on something that's rotating, something that's twisting, or that ring laser gyro should be completely flipping over?
Yeah,
doing some weird shit.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's so I got rumpus. Funny thing about gyroscopes, because my thing was my argument is about like attitude indicators. Attitude indicators are specifically designed by man to show when an aeroplane is flying off level, right? So it has to maintain its rigidity in space. So when you start off at the airport, before the airplane takes off, the gyro takes about, I think it's about 2 minutes or 3 minutes to fire up right to the right speed, so that it's going at so that it won't ever move, right? So at that point, at that specific point where that is, that gyroscope is calibrated to that specific point, right? So now, and it's pointing straight up. If they want to call it vertical, they can call it vertical. It goes up in that aeroplane, and that remains there, because if that curves with the Earth, that gyroscope inside there, it will register on the guy's flight control panel, his attitude indicator panel, showing that, because if that gyroscope, if the aeroplane deviates around, because the aeroplane is moving around that gyroscope, right? It's not the gyroscope doesn't move. It might have perturbations, and then it has the pendulous vanes, but the pendulous vanes are correcting it to its upright position, to where it was started at, where it was calibrated at. So it's still, that gyroscope still thinks it's back, and it could be 10,000 miles away, meaning it was away on the other side of the Earth, but it would still be directly pointing up the way. So that was the thing that got it for me, and that was my argument. And plus the theodolite thing. I argued for years. They add the curvature, and then I found a surveying book, an old surveying book from 1929, and I got the equation that they use, man, because I knew they curved it. Here I was reading through, and it was a surveying book. It was, as I say, and the equation that they used for it was 2 times the distance squared divided by 3. That's what they did. They added the curve. They did the surveying, and then they would the heights that they used. They would multiply the distance by 2 times the distance squared divided by 3, and that would give them drop. But that was after they used the theodolite to do the horizontal lines. So they were measuring horizontal lines and adding the curvature on afterwards.
Curvature of what?
The book.
Curvature of the model.
Kid, Bev, stop that. You know what I'm fucking talking about. The curvature of my sack. My ball sack.
Yeah.
Is that what you want? Is that you want your resort list? You sound that there. That doesn't. I don't cut no fucking ice with you. You know exactly what I was.
Well, no,
meaning,
I'm
right?
just saying, right? They built the canal
right.
near me, late 1700s. It's at 51 feet. Oh, dude.
Oh, Allie got mad.
Yeah, I guess they put the curvature in, but they forgot to write it down. It's all at the same height, right? So where's the curvature? What's the use of talking about a formula that never got used by anyone? Sorry, Ali, yeah. I don't mean to upset you, but
it just, he thought you were saying curvature what to him, but you're talking about them, and he.
Yeah. I know. I get the feeling that some people think, you know, I mean, sorry, Ali, I didn't mean to come across like that, but you obviously have got the wrong impression about what we do here. There is no curvature of the canal. It's not on any maps. It's just not there. So they can't calculate it to put a curvature that isn't even there on anything. There's no need for a calculation. Because it says something in the book doesn't make any difference to what happens on the
he
elevation.
said with the, you know, they measured the whatever canal and it was horizontal, but then they come in and add the curve based on the model. Yeah, I mean, he's right. I think it was just a little bit of communication breakdown there. Yeah, I think I'm going to shut down the YouTube. It won't be long before Rob comes over.
Yeah, I'm going to have my tea anyway, so...
cool.
Yeah, I'll be back here in, 20 minutes or so?
Yeah, I'll go have a drink of water or something and come back. All right, cool. See y'all.
All right, catch you later.
All right.
See you later, everyone.